Hey everybody, I am back. We are back to bring you the full force of the new comic book day, which is, of course, 420, which is, you know, not really a big deal anymore, I guess. But anyway, it makes for good comic books, and it makes for good comic book reading.
Something else might be smelling good on
something else. And it's gonna be hot. So, you know, you want to sit there and drip and, you know, read your comics and stuff. And we, of course, have things for you to read. And I'm going to start off with a double shot of stuff from DC, some older collections that they're doing. So DC, as everybody knows, is rebooting in about a month or so.
It's not a reboot. It's not a reboot.
Rebirthing.
Dan Didio says it's not a reboot.
Rebirthing.
And it never was.
Excuse me, sir. I apologize.
It's a rebirth.
Thank you, Mr. Dan Didio. Anyway.
I'm in labor now.
So they are bringing back some old stuff too as well, which is great. And this is a collection of Grant Morrison and Mark Millar's Flash story that they did, where basically the Flash has to outrace death. This is really, really cool, uncollected stuff from the Flash. It's got Connor Hawke, Green Arrow in it, and a lot of great kind of like mid-90s, later 90s Flash stuff. And then also, very excited, much asked for, Elseworlds. They're finally bringing back Elseworlds collections. Look at that. Elseworlds, Batman, #1. Huge, big. Yes, that is him as a Green Lantern. Yes, they did that before Blackest Night, or whatever, Sinestro Corps.
And Gotham by Gaslight?
No Gotham by Gaslight
That's
yet.
got to get its own.
That's going to get its own thing, but it does have the Robin 3000 by P. Craig Russell, which is awesome. Both of these are thick and very cool. So,
let's get back to the here and now. Captain America, Sam Wilson. This has been standoff. It's been through all the Avengers books. Maria Hill used the power of the Cosmic Cube. The Cosmic Cube turned into a little girl with all kinds of powers, and they set up this cool, kind of weird prison, as if it was the TV show The Prisoner. Well, all the villains are...
Whoa, what, really?
I like that.
It is kind of cool.
Isn't
it cool that?
That's
and
awesome.
it's really cool, some of the villains that are coming back. Of course, they're setting the stage for a brand new Thunderbolt series. But in the last issue, I'm not really sure exactly what happened, but Steve Rogers is now back to his youth, back to full power. So we finally have all three of the Captains America, Sam Wilson, Steve Rogers, and Bucky Barnes in a big showdown with everything that's going down with the crazy villains. And this leads up to Standoff, the finale, the big finale, Omega, if you will, is the next big issue. And so what would that mean as they lead into Civil War II and Avengers vs. S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that good stuff? Lots of good action. If you want your Captain Americas, they're all three right here. Salute.
it's a lot of cap.
A lot of cap.
Alright, and I have got a image book here for my first pick. This is the new Hawaiian Dick miniseries, Aloha Hawaiian Dick. Somewhat, I feel like it's forgotten at this point, the original two miniseries, but they're really cool detective stories set in Hawaii, of course, by B. Clay Moore, who is now joined by Jacob Wyatt, one of my personal favorite artists. He has a lot of really cool stuff you'll see on like Comics Alliance's art features and float around Tumblr and stuff. And he has his own comic called, I want to say it's called like The Sword or something like The Crypt or like, I don't know, Necropolis maybe?
Necropolis.
Yeah, that's
He actually had, he was at ECC or whatever, and he had a sketchbook, which looked really cool.
Yeah, really good period art here. It takes place in the 70s, so it's really cool.
My next pick is from Valiant, Divinities, #2. Valiant, again, is just one of my favorite publishers. They publish a lot of really cool stuff. This is Matt Kint, who also has a new book out, Depth, this week, and it sees him teaming up with Trevor Hairsine again to tell you the story of Russia's kind of fallen angel cosmonaut who gained sentient, kind of like godlike powers, helped people. The West didn't like that. They fought him. He beat them up and then went to his own reality. And now we pick back up, and the question is, he left with 2 other cosmonauts, and only he returned. What happened to the other 2 cosmonauts? Do not know. I'm assuming that they're all going to come together and fight, but, you know.
It's comics.
Exactly, that's just my hope. But this is really, really gorgeous stuff, great art, and there's always cool process stuff in the back, which I really appreciate from Valiant.
My next pick is Poison Ivy, The Cycle of Life and Death. When I was in Emerald City Comic Con, I got to hear Amy Chu, the writer of this, speak, and she has a degree for, she went to MIT, and she's got an MBA for Harvard, but it doesn't take a PhD to say, hey, you want a great Poison Ivy story and ramp it up? Bring in Catwoman! It's kind of like a reunion of the Gotham City Sirens in kind of a way.
No.
It's kind of this weird story. There's kind of mysteries and murders going on at the Botham Botanical Gardens, and poison ivy's being set up. There's a big conspiracy, and there's these weird kind of like half plant, half children that are blossoming, so to speak, and this weird kind of crazy conspiracies. And of course, when you need a thief, who do you call? You call Selena Kyle. So that's what happens in this issue, and it's a lot of fun. Amy Chu's really kind of taking this Batman femme fatale and turning her into kind of a anti-hero. Seems to be doing well. Who knows? We could have a Poison Ivy ongoing. Ta-da.
Or they just get her back in Birds of Prey. I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
I've got another image book for you here. This is a one-shot. The Chew team is back at it again with Demon Chicken Apoyo. He's already a cyborg killer chicken, and now he's a demon. That's all I gotta say.
I know.
I know how these books go. It's gonna be amazing. There's gonna be a big spread of him fighting some ridiculous animal monster,
and
you're gonna love it.
Yeah, because Rob Guillory is the shiznit.
He really is.
I have another image book. We have Kung Fu Werewolves. Well, okay, this is the Criminal 10th anniversary. Can you believe that it has been 10 years since Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips decided to do Criminal, which was not their first stuff together, but kind of the beginning of their new brand that just saw the end of fade out right now. And periodically at this point they come back, they return to this world. They did a Savage Sword of Criminal maybe like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, something, I don't know. But this is a similar idea where it's kind of period pieces, different, it kind of like interplaces with the regular Criminal series. And there's a magazine format which has super awesome fake ads in the back, and yeah, genuine Kung Fu Werewolves. There's also a regular size if you want that one, but I go for the big one.
It's really not as cool.
Does that have the Kung Fu Werewolves?
It does, but not like the ads and not all the cool stuff, and it doesn't have this awesome thing about Bruce Lee.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about Bruce Lee in here. This is really, it's like traveling back to 77, like that's for sure. Not that I know what the hell. Wait, what was 77 like?
I actually had a Hulk magazine in that format. That was like my first Hulk was in this format.
Yeah, they did a Rampaging Hulk magazine.
It was in
back
black
in
and
the 70s.
white.
Yup.
And the back issue story was Moon Knight. So
Nice.
anyway,
Nice.
Back to the here and now. Oh man, here. Action Comics. This is the final days of Superman. Peter Tomasi. He could write a comic book about the phone book, and I probably would at least check it out. But he is wrapping up all the Superman stories in a big Super League storyline that wraps up kind of the end of the New 52 era. But and he's launching everything because he's going to be the new Superman writer with Pat Gleason of Batman and Robin. And so this is kind of reuniting him with Kara and setting up the new status for Supergirl. There's going to be a new Supergirl series in Rebirth by Steve Orlando. But it kind of sets everything up with what's going on with the state of the Kryptonians. And he's back to full power, and he's awesome. And there's a big showdown because there's another big book that may not be happening. I mean, what's going to happen with the Superman Wonder Woman super romance? We'll find out. But Tomasi is doing a super job on the final days of Superman until he's reborn.
Dude, say super again.
Super dude.
I've got a decidedly unsuper book here.
Uh-oh. Going to the dark side.
Yeah, from Avatar Press, we finally have the first hardcover of Alan Moore's Providence with Jason Burrows. This is not just a hardcover edition, but a limited hardcover edition. There are only 6,666 copies of this hardcover in existence.
Satan! Hail Satan!
Much deeper than Satan, man. This is taking every single H.P. Lovecraft story and tying them all into one cohesive narrative by Alan Moore, and he's getting like Watchmen levels of meticulous on this book. Like, I've heard some things about the scripts for this book.
Yeah.
Holy, there's a whole like website devoted to like annotations and like background material and stuff for this, and they put out articles that are like, read this before you read issue 8, read this before you read issue 9. It's crazy. I didn't realize like how intense this book was.
It is Alan Moore.
Yeah.
You know, he does love Lovecraft.
Yeah, and this
like
is
crazy.
the first 4 issues here, which are incredibly hard to find at this point.
They are, actually. And, wow, it's my final book already. We talked about Corey Lewis only a couple weeks ago when he did G.I. Joe and he put a Hawaiian shirt on Snake Eyes. That was still awesome.
That was amazing.
We have, though, his very, well, this is his first, like, real big, I mean, he's put out kind of trades before, but I don't know if he's actually put out or got anything published, a straight, like, comic. But this is the beginning of Sun Bakery, put out by Press Gang, which is also the study group, kind of real world publishing arm. And Sun Bakery was a Kickstarter that Corey did like 3 years ago, that has finally seen fruition, and he has taken a few of his mini comics, recolored them a little bit, packaged them up, and put them in this very, very, very cool package of it's just raw comics. It's just fun, energetic, super cool stuff. There's like a Metroid kind of fan comic. There's Dream Skills, which is all about swords and rollerblades and stuff, and Bat Rider, which I don't really need to explain Bat Rider, do I? Maybe.
He has a bat, and he rides a skateboard.
Yeah, but this is really, really badass. There's a variant cover by Paul Pope and by Jim Mahfood, which, you know, is no small thing to get for your first, like, big comic, which is really cool. So, much love there to Mr. Corey Lewis.
My next book, Extraordinary X-Men Apocalypse Wars, continues. And another showing my age, my first alternate future storyline was the original Days of Future Past. I've been reading a lot of X-Men future storylines, and I thought I'd seen it all, but Jeff Lemire, I salute you because you have given us a new one. You've unexpected this unexpected X-fan. I can't say that right. Anyway, that's how crazy I am about this. So as you know, the Terrigen Mist that creates Inhumans are killing the X-Men, and all of a sudden these 600 kind of mutant embryos kind of pop up. And so Cyclops and his team of, like, if you like the little junior X-Men kids from the Grant Morrison, like No Girl and Ernst, he's kind of coaching them, and they kind of get into the future. But when the Storm and them arrive, it's kind of like, what happened? It turns out they'd been there a year. Well, this is what tells you what happens in that missing year. And one of the craziest Four Horsemen of Apocalypse you may have ever seen. Some crazy additions, and there's even one surprise cameo in here. I'm like, what? Because it tells you that missing year. So Jeff Lemire and Roberto Ramos, I salute you because you have shocked me, because just when I thought I'd seen all the future storylines, this is tripping. And it's a great showcase for Colossus too.
And my last book here is very, very, very fitting for the occasion. You'd almost think they planned it that way. We have from Fantagraphics a new collection of Simon Hanselman's Meg, Mog, and Owl in Amsterdam.
Because if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah.
You learn, yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, if you haven't been on the internet anytime in the last 2 years, you might not have seen this. But Simon Hanselman's been doing these strips first on his own, and then later for Vice. They've been running them for the last few years.
Vice?
Oh yeah, like big time.
Right.
Fantagraphics put out a collection of his stories. I want to say last year. It was just called Mega Hex, actually. And this is the follow-up to that. Really, really amazing paper quality, like beautiful watercolor paint here. And it's all to tell the stories of the biggest scumbag burnout wastoids you could possibly imagine, who also happen to be witches and cats and owls and a werewolf. Werewolf Jones is the worst, honestly. Honestly. That's about it.
You can't trust.
You really gotta buy this.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get an extra pick, but I'm going to do one more. Let me just say this. If Quentin Tarantino were allowed to do a hard R James Bond movie, it might be this. This is Warren Ellis. This is the big wrap-up of James Bond Vargur.
Is that the last part of the story arc?
It's the last part of the story arc, and literally it's Bond unleashed. Blood, guts, awesome, hard espionage. It's the super violent James Bond of your dreams.
By Warren Ellis, right?
By Warren Ellis.
There you go.
So, and just accept the mission, okay?
Right, just accept the mission. And that's about it, I guess, this week. We apologize for the lack of photos and for maybe the rawness of it.
I'll just do some...
yeah, there you go. We'll let that fade out, you know, as that goes. And thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. Enjoy your holiday.
This